Hey you guys, MeNoHaxor here, bringing you guys a new Janna commentary against Biofrost's Nami. Before this video starts, just want to make another quick announcement that once again, I'm always doing private coaching lessons. I know I just recently bumped up the price to $20 with the coupon, but I'm always willing to do coaching lessons. I know I've been posting videos in the past, so just don't think that because I'm not posting videos of myself coaching means that I'm not doing private lessons, because I'm still doing this actively. And right now I just wanted to focus more on doing my series of highlighting games where I play against professional NALCS players. So this game in particular, I'm going to be playing against Biofrost's Nami. I think that he plays a much more aggressive style compared to Afromu, as you can watch from the previous game. He focuses a lot more about winning lane, so he plays champions like Nami, and he also focuses on not really going the whole ardent sensor rushing style. He still builds pretty normal things, like he builds sightstone, boots, like really standard stuff. He doesn't stray very far from the traditional style of support. So I just wanted to highlight that because I think that that's still a viable way to play support, and just because the quote-unquote meta right now is to rush ardent sensor on healers and shielders and stuff like that, it's still perfectly fine to play a very normal style. Also, just not to confuse you guys, this is actually recording from one of my stream games I did, so that's why I muted the game audio and it's just myself talking. And I can fast forward a little bit and like skip to different parts of the video, which is kind of nice. So anyways, in this matchup, it's going to be Janna and Xayah against Silver Nami, which is not favored for us. So we have to be a little bit more defensive. I can't really take good trades against Nami ever, so my positioning in general in this lane is going to be pretty far back, and I'm going to be mostly focused on just minimizing the amount of harass we take. I don't know if you saw this in this leash, but when right before the red spawns, I already put the shield on Sejuani a little bit earlier. That's just so that by the time I'm going to leave to lane, I could put one more shield up and then already hurry back. So that gives Sejuani a little bit more health to work with than normal. That's something very minor you can do when you're giving a leash as Janna. Shield your jungler at about 137. Anyways, you can see immediately that the Nami's playing very aggressive. Like, Biofrost is just a very, very aggressive player. So I already put my Trinket Ward in that bush right there just because I just need the vision of him. And so does Xayah. And we're going to be pretty far back from most of this lane, so I think it's perfectly fine to use up my Trinket Wards like that. And you can see how the Nami and Sivir are just constantly hitting the wave because they want to get level 2 first. And then once they hit level 2, we just have to back off completely. And that's something you should always be doing as bot lane. Like, even though they're taking not so good trades right now, like they're a little bit chunked, them having level 2 just puts an immense amount of pressure on us, and we just have to forfeit the wave, and we're just going to keep getting continuously pressured from here on out. And you can see that as they're pressuring us, they're trying to get as many autos as they can onto the tower and just like trying to continuously harass us. So they're really just not letting the pressure go from the start. And I think that's something to highlight a lot, because I feel like a lot of times when people play support, they generate all this pressure in lane, but then they don't really do anything with it. Like, you get the pressure and then they kind of back off. They don't really hit the tower. They don't try to harass you under the tower. And you can see how, like, yeah, they're running out of resources right now, but like Xayah is super low right now because we can't fight them level 2. Like, we're actually just much weaker than them. And now, like, we pretty much have to be super defensive. Like, even though I'm at full health, yeah, I could run up an auto, but Xayah can't really farm, so this isn't too good for us. And that was just really unfortunate that the Sivir was able to get a double Q off. I flash Q'd a little bit too late there, so that was my bad. I think if I reacted a little bit faster, I might have been able to get the Sivir, but I think that would have been a very close call. I'm not sure if I would have actually killed her, because she would have taken one more tower shot at most, and maybe that would have made a difference, but I want to say that wouldn't have. Anyways, they're recalling right now, so I'm just going to try to stop the recall. That tornado was really important right there, because that delayed the recall by about 15 seconds, which is really good, because what this means is that now they have to shove this lane, because they would waste more time by going back and trying to recall under tower than if they just shoved the lane and then recalled to force me out. So now we get a freeze, which is really good for us. So the wave is pretty much built up, and if they don't back right now, they're not going to be able to use their gold lead. So this is really good for us. So they have to stay now, and now we can just continuously farm. Like, so even though we did die to first blood, we're not really behind per se. You can see that Xayah is just running up at them, just trading very aggressively. This is cool. We got pretty close to a Sivir kill. It was a little unlucky. I think Xayah wasn't quite level 3 until we were chasing them, so that kind of sucks. I don't have mana for a Q, so I can't really stop the Nami, but that's okay. This at least gives us a really good opportunity to shove the lane again. So we're not really that far behind. We do have quite a bit of experience advantage because we have about 2 waves built up here. I soaked up all the experience while the Xayah went back, so this really isn't that bad. Like, the CS, you can see, is pretty much about the same. It's fine. Like, it's not too bad. Like, we're not as far behind as we think we are. Gonna go ahead and upgrade my coin, and I'll fast forward just a tiny bit. So we're back to lane. Once again, playing very defensive. Only really saving my shield for when Nami throws a W out, so that way we can minimize damage. It's also worth noting Talia is 6, so we do have to be very, very careful for the roams. Luckily, we do have Twisted Fate, so he can follow her, but, you know, we don't want to get jumped on by the Talia. So we're, once again, just going to play pretty defensively. You can see, like, my shielding there has just been pretty on point for most of the laning phase. Like, I think we would be in a much worse position if I didn't have my timing down. That was a really nice bubble by Biofrost, though. So we took a pretty bad trade, unfortunately. That was also a really nice E by Xayah. So we're not in a terrible spot, but once again, we're against a Nami, so a lot of our trades are just not going to really amount to anything because they're just going to get healed up. So now we see Jarvan and Talia here. So this is like really bad. So right there, note how I queued the Jarvan when he did his flag and drag combo. That was really important because he didn't get off the CC on us. So we bought a lot of extra time where Nami had to take a couple extra tower shots. And so even though that was essentially a 3v4, we ended up turning that around, which is fantastic. That was really important. I landed the Q there. Now, I go ahead and start buying more components for Ardent Sensor. I had enough for Amp Tome, so I went ahead and just bought it. Bought some Fairy Charms. Not too bad. And now, since there's nothing for me to do right now, so I'm just going to help the Sejuani take out the jungle, because if I go to lane, there isn't really a point in going to lane. Like, the Xayah's not there, and I'm going to be just getting experience at most, like maybe 1 or 2 creeps, and I don't think that's really worth it. I'd rather just help out the Sejuani clear a little bit faster. I even found a pink ward in our jungle, so that ended up being okay. Like, I think that was a lot more efficient use of my time than just soaking up 2 creeps of experience. But yeah, you can see Shen wants to make a play bot, so we're trying to go for a bait right here. So right now it looks like a really good time to commit. So we get the Shen ult, but unfortunately the Xayah does get bubbled, which really sucks a lot because now Shen wasn't in a good position to taunt after the Sivir flashes. So yeah, I don't know what's happening right now. Like, Xayah just went really aggressively. Biofrost has a really good bubble. I think this is just a lot of miscommunication in general because I didn't think Xayah would actually go for that flash ult. I think that was very aggressive, and maybe if we were all on the same page that would have worked out, but that wasn't too good because we ended up trading flashes. Like, Xayah and I both used up our flash for Sivir's flash, so that really wasn't too good, and Sivir used heal, so it wasn't the best trade out there, is essentially what I was trying to say, because we also lost Shen ult as well, so really wasn't too good. Right here, I trinket over the wall, and then I pop the blast cone. I think you should always do that, especially if you're blue side and you're supporting, because a lot of times the enemy jungler is going to be going over the wall like this with the blast cone, or if they have a dash, they just dash over the wall. So having the trinket ward right here is pretty good, and then you can pretty much, on any support, you can auto over the wall to hit the cone, so you don't have to walk all the way around. Pretty efficient use of your time, because right now Xayah should be safe since we just shoved. Anyways, let's go ahead and fast forward just a little bit. A lot of more laning. I don't think it's particularly interesting to watch. Like, basically we're just, slowly, trying to take trades. Like, a shield there was good when Biofrost has been going for W's. He's been a little iffy on his W's under tower. He's been taking 1 or 2 tower shots unnecessarily. But we had to force a heal there, which sucks. And we just saw the Talia roams. Now we have to back right now. We're gonna get dove. Luckily, Talia just walks a little too far forward, which is great. So we get the Sejuani counter gank. And unfortunately, I'm now, so we can't actually do much. They're gonna get the bot tower for free. And Sivir does another really nice spell shield, and Biofrost lands an amazing Nami ult right there that just stopped all 4 of us. So a bit unfortunate. But luckily TF gets another card. We're going to go straight for the dive on the Sivir. And we actually get it, which is very good. So now 4 of us are bot. We have a wave right here. This is the perfect time to push. Like, we can definitely take this tower in Retribution and, you know, pretty much equalize the amount of gold we lost. Granted, they got the first tower, but I don't think this was bad. I know how both of us went to go trinket this bush right here just to have extra vision. You know, in case the jungler's waiting there or something like that, you never really know. This ward is... this bush is pretty easy to ward over the wall. But now that we took the bot tower, we're going to run immediately back to Dragon. I think it would be way too greedy for us to immediately head to the Fire Drag right after bot lane because we were just really low. But the enemy team reacts really quickly and already make their way over to Dragon. So we unfortunately can't get the Dragon, but I think that's okay because at least we're at full health. We can reestablish vision. It's not too bad. I think it would be a huge mistake for us to have gone for Dragon right after that bot tower. So it's okay. Anyways, we do have a little bit of pressure since they have to walk back around to mid lane from Dragon to defend it. So we can't get a little bit of damage on here. Gonna just keep trying to shield. Zaya, another really good bubble of Biofrost. Yeah, his bubbles are just insane this game. Like, it's actually ridiculous. But, yeah, we get a bit of damage, which is nice. So right now, my goal is just to stay mid because their bot lane already roamed to mid. So I'm just gonna stay mid just to make sure we have enough wave clear. The Talia actually ended up ganking Zaya, so I thought the Zaya would be fine on her own. Like, I honestly think that if she just ults from the start, then she wouldn't die, and she wouldn't have to burn flash and stuff. But, I mean, she didn't burn flash, but she lost so much health, and so it's not good to be giving up so much pressure like that, especially once we're hitting this mid-game time when rotations and just being together as a team is super important. So ideally, what I think our setup should be is that TF should actually be bot instead of the Zaya. So, but it's okay. It's not the worst thing ever. I'm just really staying just because I need a little bit more experience, and I also want to collect my coins. You can see Biofrost actually built a Sightstone first. So he's been getting vision around our river, and we don't have as much vision, so we have to play kind of defensive. We're pretty much hovering the top side of our jungle just because we have a pink ward there, and that's how we're going to have to play the vision game for now. But yeah, like, Zaya's just not having a fun time. She's just kind of getting demolished by Jarvan there. And then now I'm going to try to help Sejuani because looks like they're fighting here. This is basically not a good state for us. Like, we really just shouldn't be in this kind of position to begin with. Like, we should really have Zaya be mid because she just can't be safe in bot lane by herself. I can't go with her because if I leave, they're just going to dive TF. So it's kind of, it's hard. Like, I think prioritizing saving our mid tower is a lot more important right now. And Shen is also starting to lose against the Camille, which is to be expected. So we really just have to try to make plays right now. This isn't too good for us. Anyways, let me rewind this just a tiny bit. So we see that Jarvan is trying to do this rift, so we group together. I do have Ardent Center done, which is really good. So now we have a really nice advantage. I would say the only thing to note right there in that Swell Engage, I don't know if you saw it, but I was really patient with the tornado, and I pretty much waited until all the CC was used up by TF and Sejuani, and then I threw out my tornado, because that way I get a longer duration on my tornado, and we don't stack the CC. Because it's a lot easier for me to time a tornado and let it fully channel, compared to something like a TF card, where TF kind of has to throw his card instantly. It's kind of hard for him to like fake out doing like a gold card and stuff like that. So it's better for me just to be patient, let my teammates start the CC first, and then follow up later. So we get a rift, which is nice. We can take towers now, which is quite good. And once again, I pink that bush right there, just because when you're in this kind of mid lane siege, this bush up here and the other bush on the opposite side of the mid lane is really important to pink. It's really important because it covers a lot of the rotations, and a lot of times as a support, you're going to be warding over the wall. Like, if I'm here and I want vision of this area, I'm probably going to ward over the cliff right here. And putting a pink ward in the middle of the river is really good at denying that kind of vision for the enemy team. So I highly recommend that you put a lot of your pink wards in these lane bushes as opposed to the pixel bushes in the river, because these are going to be a lot more commonly warded than the pixel bush. Anyways, our goal right now is that we have a rift. We're just gonna look to group together right now because I think Dragon's gonna be spawning soon. We are stronger with Ardent Sensor. That's something we should really highlight because once again, Biofrost did not build an Ardent Sensor first, so we have a much stronger team fighting right now. Like they have the better vision game, so they have better control over objectives, but we destroy them in team fights. Like if I put Ardent Sensor on TF or Xayah, we just roll over them 100%. So we're just going to look to group together. I'm going to stay with Sejuani, just clear some pinks together. Shield her just in case. And you can see right now, like, fighting for vision is very difficult right now. Like, they have a Sightstone. They're also grouping right now. We just have to really stay together because TF is just bot. And we don't really want to get caught by Taliyah or Nami or anything. And with Sivir on the enemy team, they can just kind of run at us. So I really just have to stay with my team to negate a lot of their initiation. Anyways, I'm recalling right now because I have enough for Sightstone, and we really need it for before this next dragon fight. So I'm gonna go ahead and buy Sightstone. And now I'm immediately gonna try to get some vision for us. Put one ward over the cliff right there, and then I saw some pinks in that pixel bush, so I'm just gonna wait until my team is closer to the area, like Sejuani right here. And know how I'm kind of like hovering between helping my TF and the Sejuani. I just want to make sure that they don't get engaged on by Sivir ult. And I want to make sure that we can establish vision around the dragon because it's right about to spawn. So we're going to help her kill these pink wards right now. And once again, we're staying really far back, tornadoing just in case the Jarvan engages. I still have one last ward, so I want to ward that bush right there because I see the Sivir right there. But right now, dragon's a lot more important. So I'm going to trail right behind the Sejuani, stay really far back, and be really patient with my ult. I see TF gets jumped on by Jarvan, so I'm going to shield him right here. Make sure he stays alive. Not going to use my ult whatsoever because it's not really important right now. But now I'm going to use it because I want to make sure that we stay at full health for this dragon in case the Camille comes. So I use my last ward over the cliff just in case so no one can steal it and we get the Infernal Drake. So that's really good for us. There's really no need for me to use my ult there whatsoever. TF was going to be really safe once I shielded him. It's a really fat shield right now, and once again, we excel in team-fighting really hard because I have Ardent Sensor. So I'm not really concerned. And a lot of that fight was really good because we also established vision. Like we got a pink ward in the bush right here. I helped Sejuani establish vision throughout the dragon pit. So they didn't have a vision advantage of us at all because we just stayed grouped together. And luckily I bought a Sightstone right before the dragon spawned, so I was able to get off the necessary vision for us so we can stay together. I go ahead and buy Lucidity Boots. I'm not a huge fan of mobility boots on Janna. I know a lot of people do like having the extra movement speed, but I think right now team fighting is a lot more important. Plus, I don't think it's really that important for me to like run away from certain people on the enemy team. Like if I get Jarvan ulted, I get Jarvan ulted, right? So I'd rather just have lower CDR right now because team fights are a lot more important. I also want to take advantage of the fact that since I have Ardent Sensor first and Nami doesn't, I am a lot stronger if I just continuously throw out more spells than Nami in team fights. And you can see that Nami built CDR boots, she built Eye of the Watchers, and now she's just starting to work on getting Ardent Sensor now. So her Ardent Sensor is not going to come for another maybe 8 minutes or so, which is still a really good window for me to be able to win us more team fights. Because once she finishes Ardent Sensor and Sivir gets more online, it's going to be a lot harder for us to win. So we definitely want to take advantage of the fact that we still have a small lead. So establishing a vision, but once again, put my pink ward inside the bush right here. Got another ward up on their bush right outside their red, just so we can see if they walk towards Baron. Pretty standard stuff. And once again, just really staying close to Xayah. And note, my ward right here is really good because we see the Jarvan and Taliyah, and now they're going to engage. So, I'm going to like to stay a little far back, and now I just ult right now after my shield the Xayah just to keep her healthy. And yeah, we're just going to win that fight because Xayah didn't die. My ult there was strictly just for healing, and I think that's sometimes the better thing to do, right? Because there wasn't really a need to push anyone back. A lot of the damage was range damage coming from Taliyah and Sivir, so it's not like me pushing them back is really going to do anything. Like, I can't be in a good position to push them back. But since we just killed 2 people, this is the perfect time to go Baron. We pop the blast cone, put another ward over the wall right there just in case the Jarvan comes from that area. And I'm really just looking to make sure that Jarvan can't steal this. But I really doubt they can. But also note that how, look on the left right here, how Sejuani's pinging her smite. So we know that her smite's down and we don't want to risk anything. So we're going to be really patient, just not kill Baron right now, and then just wait until Sejuani's smite comes up, and then now we can just burst the Baron. Zaya does a good job at defending, but I think I do a little bit too of an aggressive flash to try to save her. I should have just let her die because Biofrost ended up bubbling me. But yeah, I think it was correct for the Zaya to do this because she's the best one at zoning out the enemy team right now. I also just kind of walked into the bubble right there. The Biofrost did a really good bubble because the bubble was actually aiming for Yen, not for the Zaya at all. And I think that's a really good decision-making thing he did because he knew the Zaya was pretty much dead from autos. He might as well try to go for the bubble on me. At least we have Baron now, which is good. So we can just start pushing. So right now, I want to try to get my team to do a 1-3-1 split, but it takes us a pretty long time to do it, to be honest, because if we get the 1-3-1 off, we have so much pressure because TF, Shen, and Sejuani are the 3 people with Baron. So we can just have, like, for example, Shen go top, TF go bot, Sejuani, Zaya, and I just stay mid together. And there is no way we can ever get engaged on because Sejuani is, you know, a fat pig. She's not going to die if they engage on her, and she can just throw an ult and just dash away. I can ult people away. As long as they're really far back, Sejuani and Zaya are going to get the movement speed from my passive and from completing the quest for coin. So it's really hard for them to engage on us if we do a 1-3-1 split right now. Like, I have no idea why TF and Shen are bot right now. It's like actually just super frustrating, and I'm like just trying to tell them, you know, team, we should be pressuring side lanes right now. Like, top tower is still up. I have no idea why Shen is just wandering around. This just makes no sense whatsoever. So Shen's finally going top. TF is finally staying bot. We've used up maybe 1 minute of Baron, but we still have 1 more minute to make something happen. So just gonna keep trying to tell my team to stay here. Like, you can see I'm just massively pinging, just trying to instruct everyone what to do, because life is hard as a support. You just have to tell your team what's going on. And once again, note how, even though we had a wave crashing in, we're not really trying to take the tower right now. We get a lot more just from making sure that Shen and TF slowly push in, because right now, the only way they can really capitalize on us being split is if they engage on the 3 of us right now. So as long as we just don't die mid, we're good. We're coming out ahead. So it's better for us just to give up, you know, tower damage. You don't have to auto the tower. We can just stay a little far back. I put a pink ward here because I saw they put a ward over the cliff, and it's better for us to deny that vision. And now we see they're finally splitting up, so we're looking just to kind of threaten them a little. TF also scare them. Like, this is really good for us. Now we can just take this tower for free. Perfect. And now I'm telling my team, yo, we should go bot right now. Shen can still stay top. He can still continuously pressure, and we can just rotate down. Talia can't see us right now, so we get off a lot of CC, but she cleanses and flashes out, which is still fine. We burn her summoner spells. That's really good. And now we get this tower as well. So this has been a really good rotation. We got 3 towers for nothing. Like, we didn't lose anyone. Here I ulted just in case, because the Sejuani looked like she was about to die. So once again, another very just defensive heal. I didn't really push anyone back, mostly just ulting for the heal. I think, once again, that's a completely acceptable use of Janna ult. Camille isn't even here, so there isn't really a point in trying to push her back and saving it. And we get to take their blue buff, we get to take dragon. This is a really good spot for us. We have really good control of the game right now. So they finally recall. I'm looking to try to establish some vision around top side, because our goal right now should be for Shen to be pressuring either bot or top, but he can stay top because the tower is still there, and just continuously putting vision around Baron. Like, note that we still have a lot of our pink wards up from in the pixel bush right here, in the lane, in the really long lane bush mid, so they can't really get a whole lot of vision. And I'm just gonna try to sweep the air right now. I actually like sweeping the lane because in high elo, a lot of people put wards in the middle of the lane, and I feel like that's something that not a lot of people do, which I think people should be doing more often, because having a ward in the middle of the lane is really good for seeing rotations at this late in the game, because a lot of times what's going to happen is that, like, a mid laner will push out a wave mid, and then they'll just go ahead and rotate. So putting a ward in the middle lane is really good. So anyways, Shen's about to die here. I throw out Redemption, throw out a shield, throw out an ult. Just trying to heal him as much as possible. He still dies, unfortunately, but I buy so much time for our team. We're able to get 2 kills right there. TF comes in for another kill on Nami, so Biofrost kind of gets wrecked there. He does end up killing the Shen, so it was, it was still a pretty good win for us. It would have been nice for Shen to live a little bit longer, but that's okay. And luckily, since we have a bot wave, we can just push right in. We don't have Baron, but that's okay. It's a 2v4 fight for them, so they can't really fight us right now. And get a free inhib. We were thinking about maybe pushing for that Nexus tower, but I think we could have gotten the Nexus tower, but it would have been very, very risky trying to get out because I don't have ult. So we decided just to play it safe. Baron spawning pretty soon, 40 seconds, so we might as well just recall right now. We have bot inhib. Our game plan right now should just be to let bot lane push in, just send Shen bot so we can pressure the Camille with a super minion wave, and then 4 of us just stay around Baron and just bait them, and then Shen can ult to us at any time. We can really engage whenever we want. We should be in control of the game right now. So once again, I'm being really patient. Like, I see a lot of them are in the area, so I don't want to go in just yet. I'm just going to stay a little far back. I don't want to get engaged on right now because I don't want to throw for us. We're just kind of waiting to group. So now Sejuani's going in, so I'm going to regroup with my team. We can go ahead and get some vision in the area now. I'm just going to trail the Sejuani. I'm never trying to get vision out by myself. I'm always just making sure teammates are with me. Just because I don't want to get caught by anything. So right now, yeah, we have pressure. Bot is slowly pushing in. It might take another minute or so before the wave reaches their base. But that's okay. We still have pinks. We can really just take our sweet time. And getting mid priority is also really important. Having mid constantly shoved is really good for us because it limits their move a lot if they have to be defending the mid wave from all the way back in their base. Because if they're all the way back here on their side of the map, the only way they can really get to Baron is if they walk all the way around through their jungle. So having mid priority is really good here. So we decided to just force Baron right now. We see Camille's bot, so this is a really good time for us to start. But then right away we get Talia walled. Camille starts CPing, so we just retreat. Like, this is totally fine for us just to back off right now. We just have to just get out. This is fine. TF ults, and he goes for an engage right here. Now, I really don't like this whatsoever because he pretty much ults right in front of the Nami, so he's going to get bubbled immediately when he gets out of the ult. And there's really no reason for us to fight because we can just stay back and we just win because bot lane's going to push in. Shen can TP at any time. There's really no reason for us to engage on Talia. Granted, she is a really easy target because she's so isolated, but this is just not a good fight. This is a very unnecessary fight, even though it looks good. So TF just gets bubbled immediately. Doesn't have time to Zanya. He gets pretty much instantly bursted, and I also got CC'd as well. So that was just really bad positioning on my part and really just awful team fighting from us because now my team also gets 3-man bubble to Biofrost. So basically, Biofrost 100% won in that fight with his ult and the bubble. Very unfortunate that we even took that fight to begin with. I think that was a really, really aggressive move by TF that shouldn't have happened in the first place because we had a really big lead. There was no reason for us to fight right there. That was a very big throw because they just got Baron. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit. And now that they have Baron, we can't really do a lot because now they can dictate what they want to do. I'm going to wait in base for a locket because I think that right now having more shield is always good for us. Granted, the shield is not going to be that big because I don't have that much HP. But I think that, once again, being able to apply Ardent Sensor to everyone on my team is really useful right now. Nami also finished Ardent Sensor, so I'd say my team fighting is not as good as hers. And right now my goal is just to make sure no one on my team dies. So we see Shen is getting ganked bot, so we're all going to try to run down as soon as possible, but looks really hard just because they have Sivir, they have a Talia wall. It's really hard for us to follow them because they run so much faster than us. I think that was a little greedy for Shen to push right there just because we just saw them take Dragon. No reason to be bot side. It wasn't too bad because at least since we got the inhib, the wave is all the way back up here, so they can't really get a whole lot from that death, but it just means that because Shen died, we can't really fight right now, which kind of sucks because they pretty much have all the freedom in the world just do whatever they want, which is never good to give your enemies. So we're going to stay as 4 right now, just stay under tower. I'm not really going to shield the tower, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I'd rather just keep giving shields to Xayah so she can threaten them. We do see Talia's on the right. So Xayah here tries to go for Talia, and then once again, there's just no reason for us to be fighting this right now. Like, Shen is still dead. They have Baron. We just don't really need to go for this kill. Like, this is another instance where I think we're trying too hard to make a play when we really don't need to. We can just chill out. It's totally fine just to wait out the Baron. Xayah kind of messes up, and she doesn't get the kill on Talia. I think that was still... Like, I don't even think she'd have gone for that, because now with Xayah dead, we lost all our damage. And now Sejuani's gonna die, I get bubbled, so I die also. This is just... We lose an inhib now, so... We could have just not fought. At worst, lose 1 tower, and that would have all they gotten on Baron. But instead, we tried too hard to force a fight, where if the outcome was bad, that would just... it would be disastrous for us. And so... I think that's just a good example of just really just... It's okay to take a small loss. You don't have to try to make plays when you don't have to. I think right here, Shen just... I don't even know how Shen has this much damage. I think he's just going to go in on the Sivir. Like, what the heck is that damage right there? Actually insane. So, we got really lucky. Shen kind of salvaged the situation by killing the Sivir immediately. But you can kind of see where... This is going to be pretty hard for us just because we only have 2 damage threats in TF and Xayah. So, yeah, if either one of them dies, it's just really not good. Meanwhile, their Camille is extremely strong now, and there is no way that Shen can split against her anymore. So, yeah. And that cleanse on Talia is just paying dividends. Like, she actually can't get... Sejuani can't get a good ult off on her. So right now... Once again, because they now have won a lot of fights consecutively, they are strong enough as a team where they can just run up at us, and we can't really do a whole lot because, once again, like, Nami has Ardent Sensors, now Sivir is actually a threat. Talia is just kind of separating us because we're not really staying together as 5. We get a pretty nice chunk on Jarvan right there, which is good. But, yeah, this is just a really difficult point in the game where we're kind of at the mercy of the enemy team where we just have to hope they mess up. And that's really never a good place to be at, because if you're relying on your enemy team to be messing up to win the game, that just that feels really bad. You should never be in that position. You always want to be in the position where you can dictate fights. I'm going to try to throw a redemption right now just because I don't want us to lose this inhib, but they still take it anyways. Kind of sucks. And yeah, I don't know what Shen's doing right here. He gets kind of wrecked. But I guess we isolate Camille. That's fine. We got our GA, but this is still a really bad fight for us. And once again, I'm just ulting over the wall. I think that's a really good ult there just because our front line is here and our back line is back here. So I can hit everyone with my ult and just heal them back up to full just in case we continue fighting. Once again, just ults. This game has been a lot of ulting just for healing. And I think that's, once again, completely okay in most situations. If you don't know what to do. I think it's a lot better than just dying with your ult as Janna. Yeah, I don't know what Shen was doing there. I think that was kind of random to be walking in the jungle like that when they just were there. So with Shen dead, Baron is spawning now. Elder Dragon spawning in 30 seconds. This is just not good for us whatsoever. So I'm going to run immediately, try to get some vision for us because we just can't make them do Baron. If they get Baron, we probably lose the game. So I dropped some words down. But we have to back off just because we can't fight them whatsoever. Shen is not up. So, I'm going to stay really far back. And Camille's pressuring bots. So this is just a really big problem for us. Because TF is now forced to go back to defend against Camille. And now we don't have TF, who is one of our big damage sources. So, we don't have any damage for this fight if we fight at Baron. So, they just cleared up all our vision. Now we have to go back. And, yeah, Talia's just going to go mid now. We just have to now commit to bot because Baron is 100% gone. It's either we lose the game because the Camille and the Talia are going to kill TF, or we take a chance at the Baron fight, which I don't think we'll win. So we don't even get the kill on Camille either. She just kind of does Camille things and gets out. So now this is just awful. Like they have Baron. This is very, very, very bad. And this is kind of where our team starts to fall apart now, especially since now that, especially this is kind of where like Nami's a slightly better pick than Janna, just because Nami can start fights when she wants, she can disengage fights, and I can only disengage and I can never engage for us. So yeah, this is just bad. Sejuani dies, Shen dies. Can't save him. Just have to run. That's pretty much game, because they have Baron, they can just run through bot. We don't have inhibs up. Very unfortunate. So yeah, I can show you the end of the game. Like, we're trying to defend, but it's 3v5. Doesn't look very good for us. And yeah, that's just game. I get blown up. But I would say overall, I think that the big lesson of this game is that, especially for Biofrost, like he intentionally went a route where he prioritized like getting sightstone and stuff like that, and I think that's completely okay. Like, Ardent Sensor wouldn't have really made that much of a difference early on, especially on someone like Nami. So I think for him, going the route where he was really supplying vision for his team and really using his bubbles super well, like he pretty much landed 2 or 3 man bubbles every single fight, and which is like actually insane. And so initially, like, he, in a lot of these fights, he would be very defensive. Like, for example, especially in the fight right when we throw, like right around here, like, he was very, very defensive. Like, he threw out a really nice ult, he threw out a really nice bubble right here, like right on this TF, this area right here. I just realized that I had this pen tool that I never used throughout most of this commentary, but that's okay. But yeah, he threw a nice bubble right here, gets off a really nice ult which hits all 5 of us, and then he's gonna get another bubble on everyone there when Jarvan ults. So like, that was just insane. Like, he 100% won in that fight right there. And even though, yeah, like, I was buying a lot of vision to try to counter his vision, it really just wasn't enough. Like, I definitely felt like I played to the best of my ability this game, but that's okay. I think that I did a pretty good job at establishing leads for my team, but closing it out was a bit unlucky, I would say. We just weren't coordinated because it was solo queue. But I think that's okay. I think that this game still hid a lot of really good things that he did, and I think it just shows that you don't have to rush Ardent Sensor if you don't want to. Even though I rushed Ardent Sensor, it gave us a lot of advantages, especially in the very early fight. I believe it was this dragon fight right here. Like, having Ardent Sensor here was insane. Like, so Johnny just like runs up and like no one can really do anything to her. Then I just threw another shield in TF and like he's just like autoing Jarvan to death. Like, having Ardent Sensors is really good because basically from 14 minutes to 25 minutes, like, we were just winning every single fight just because I was so much stronger than Nami. And then once they caught up and Biofrost built Ardent Sensor, I plateaued in my team fighting and I was really at the mercy of my team to try to get things done. And that's when I felt like that's kind of where Janna, that's like the folly of Janna, right? You're kind of at the mercy of your team of doing things, and all you can really do is stop the enemy team from doing things. So that's okay. I think that was still a good game to show a lot of what to do in a lot of different situations, and I hope you guys enjoy this kind of style of commentary. I know I was talking about this pen tool this entire time that I never really used, but I'll get used to it, and I'll try to make my commentaries a little bit more interesting by drawing stuff on the screen. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this series of analyzing pro players and stuff like that. If you like this style more, definitely just let me know. Like, leave comments and likes and stuff like that, just so I'm aware of what you guys want. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.